I'm going to break my rule for the first time this season. So while there's 11:53 left in the game, that's the last game of the night, there's not a lot of tension about who's winning the game. So I'm going to do tomorrow's preview first. All right? We got 4 games tomorrow, and the reason I have to do the preview tonight is because we got a game that starts at 2 o'clock Eastern, which is 11 a.m. my time, meaning I don't get up till usually 8:30. By the time I post, there's 2 hours left till the game. So yeah, that always hurts view counts. Let's start it off with that one. So off to Sweden for Buffalo and Tampa. And both teams need to get things going. They really can't afford to continue to kind of languish. Now, 6-5-2 is a record for Tampa, 9-4-2 is a record for Buffalo. But both teams are 5-4-1 in their last 10. Now, Buffalo's technically the home team tomorrow, meaning they get last change and all that, and then Tampa's the home team on Saturday. Goals for per game, Tampa Bay 3.31. They're allowing 3.62. That's too high. Goals for per game for Buffalo 2.93. They're allowing 2.6. So they're allowing a full goal less per game than Tampa. Again, that is way too high for the Lightning. Scoring over their last 5 games, Stamkos with a goal and 3 assists, Kucherov with a goal and 2 assists, Braden Point a goal and 4 assists, Sergachev on the blue line 2 assists. On the Buffalo side, Eichel a goal and 2 assists, Olofsson with 1 assist, Skinner with a goal and an assist. Oh, they scored again. And Dahlin with 1 assist. See, I say that it's not going to matter, and then you just watch. This goes to overtime too. I know I'm gonna probably need a drink tonight, anyways, but I'll need more if there's a lot of goals, and it just makes the reviews longer. But yeah, so for Buffalo, they've got to strike quick, because if Tampa wins the first game and they build up some confidence, makes it that much easier in the second game, I would think. But you're getting a couple of good teams here, Sweden. This isn't a case where it's 2 bad teams coming over. These are 2 pretty good teams. Hopefully everybody's healthy on both sides that can be, and we see a pretty solid effort all around. Next up, Boston. So the Bruins in against Detroit. This game starts at 4:30 Eastern. I'm surprised it's not 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Boston's 11-2-2 overall this year. Detroit is 4-12-1. Now, I would try to put an Akbar magnet up, but even Akbar would look at this and go, no. Because Boston's coming off of a loss, so they should be fired up coming into this game. They should be able to win this. And their goals for per game, 3.73. Their goals against, 2.33. Their goals against has been going up. So it was 2 only, I think, 3 games ago, and now it's up to 2.33. They've got to tamp that down. The good news is they're against Detroit, who are scoring 2.06 goals per game. That's the worst in the league. And they're allowing 4.00 goals per game, which is one of the worst as well. Oh, not a fight. See, as soon as I start doing a video, look, there's a fight. That's interesting. Anyways, so over their last 5 games, Bergeron 5 goals, 3 assists, Pasternak 4 goals and 8 assists, and Wagner with a goal and 2 assists. I wanted to mention Wagner because he's playing pretty well for Boston. Chara a goal and 3 assists. He ain't done yet. Ain't's not a word, but why not? On the Detroit side, Bertuzzi a goal and an assist. Mantha 2 goals and 1 assist. Makes me a little nervous that they haven't been as productive their last 5 games. Tells me they're due for a breakout. Filppula, however, has been pretty good. A goal and 3 assists in their last 5 games. Hronek, their top defenseman, a goal and an assist. And yeah, Detroit already looks like they're kind of playing out the string, because they've won 4 out of 17 games. 17 games they've won 4. Boston's lost 2 out of 15. So if you're betting on Boston, I can't say that I completely blame you there. Yeah, this game could definitely be ugly in Boston's favor, which is why part of me says, you know what, though? Then it probably doesn't happen. All right, moving along. Vancouver, coming off of what had to be considered a disappointing result tonight in Chicago. The Vancouver Canucks now move on to play in Winnipeg. Vancouver now 9-4-3. Winnipeg is 8-7-1. Winnipeg's been really unpredictable, so if you're Vancouver, you can't take this team for granted at all. Vancouver's now 5-2-3 in their last 10. So either they've lost 2 in regulation of their last 10, or they've won 5 of their last 10. So it depends how you view it. They're winless in their last 2. That's another way to look at it. Whereas Winnipeg is 4-5-1 in their last 10. Goals for per game, Vancouver at 3.38. They've allowed 2.5 goals per game. Whereas Winnipeg, 2.63 goals per game. They've allowed 3.13 goals per game. So Winnipeg still kind of searching for their game, but they're above 500 overall. And they're dangerous. Despite the reality that their home record isn't quite what they'd like it to be, still a dangerous team. Over their last 10, now because things weren't quite updated when I was looking at the site that I used for this, I went with the depth guys. I did the same with New Jersey. Pearson an assist in their last 5 games, Levo with 2 assists, and Sutter with a goal and an assist. Sutter's been mostly impressive for Vancouver this year. Again, I know people don't like his contract, but he's been pretty impressive. And Myers with 1 assist. And for people who are like, oh, he's got to be turning on Myers by now. No, it's Edler. I'll talk about that in the review. It's Edler that's starting to drive me nuts. Which is kind of harkening back to a couple years ago. It's vintage THG. On the Winnipeg side, Scheifele a goal and 2 assists. Laine with 2 assists. We are into one of those Laine gaps where he's not getting goals. Wheeler with 2 goals. And Pionk with 2 assists. So Pionk continues to be relatively impressive on that blue line, but he needs some more help. And overall, Winnipeg now, getting Beaulieu back will help, but they still need more than that. They absolutely need more than that. All right, and the last game of the night tomorrow, this one starts at 6 o'clock Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern. New Jersey's in against the Oilers. New Jersey now 4-6-4. So again, you can look and say, well, they're only 2 games below 500, or they've won 4 out of 14. All depends how you see it. That way you satisfy the glass half empty and the glass half full crowd out there. Oilers 10-5-2. And they're flirting with falling behind and losing that quick start they had to the season. Goals for per game, New Jersey 2.79. Goals against per game 3.79. They've got to straighten that out. And I may have jinxed Blackwood by talking about how well he was playing, and then tonight his stats weren't great. On the Edmonton side, 2.76 goals per game, 2.65 goals against per game. So they're still ahead of the curve, but that depth scoring has started to... It's really apparent they don't have it. Zaka with 2 assists in the last 10 games, or last 5 games for New Jersey. Coleman and Zajac have been kept off the scoreboard. They didn't get on the scoreboard tonight either. They need Zajac to score some points. He's never going to score the way he did in his prime, but you need some points from Zajac. Subban with 1 goal, and that's not really enough either. Oh, they're still talking, so there's a bunch of stuff going on, and yeah, still 6-4 though. Anyways, on the Edmonton side, James Neal with a goal. See, as soon as I turned my head, it's like, oh, okay, well, the interesting stuff's going to happen. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 2 assists, and Chiasson with 1 assist. And Chiasson's frustration is becoming more and more apparent as his slump continues. Chiasson, who had 20 goals last year and looked like everything was good, he stays in Edmonton, and now this year's just not been good for him. Ethan Bear with no points. So while Ethan Bear is still having a very good rookie season, and I know Oiler fans are excited about him, the reality is if you don't get points on the board, you don't end up getting Calder votes either. So you may be able to get Norris votes, although dating back to the late 80s, it's highly unlikely. Maybe someday we have a Rod Langway trophy given out to the best defensive defenseman in the league. Until then, it is points that they will look at, and then all the other stats as well. And when your other stats aren't any good, I'm looking at Brent Burns with this, sometimes Erik Karlsson, they don't get the votes. But in general, if you combine the defense and the offense, hello Mark Giordano, and to some extent John Carlson, that's when you get the votes for the Norris Trophy. And for Calder, yeah, you got to get the points for that. I'm still leaning towards Makar, and I think what we saw tonight shows that Makar is still the likely guy. But there you go. You guys are all set for tomorrow's action. And the review of tonight's action will be coming up relatively soon. There's some 4-on-4 action going on. I'll watch the rest of this, and the review for that will be up soon. As soon as this is done, I'll start firing through it, and we'll get it done. But there were some games that had a lot of goals in them, which I think is kind of sort of obnoxious. It's not very nice to me to have so many goals in games like that, because the more goals you have, the longer the review gets. So I apologize if it goes over an hour. I'm going to do my best to keep it below an hour, and sort of like this preview short, so that's got something going for it, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for the review, that goes up soon. I just wanted to get the preview out of the way first. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.